Hey folks, wanted to talk about this dust boot that I designed and built. Basically, it's an adjustable dust boot. It has just about 1.2, just under 1.25 inches of vertical adjustability. And of course, the purpose of that is to match, your brush assembly with the height of the bit that you happen to be using at the moment. So if you have a shorter end mill or bit, let's say, half an inch, 3/4 to an inch, put in a upright position, and that should, give you a great seal for dust collection. If you're running a longer bit, like what I have here, which is it's almost 2 inches, probably 1.75 inches of an engraving bit. You would drop it down a little bit to make it level with the tip of the bit. Tighten down the thumb screws, and you rock solid, right? And it gives you a good seal on the bottom for better dust collection. So one thing about this is that the brush assembly is held on with 4 magnets. You got 4 magnets on the brush assembly. 2 on the brush assembly and 2 on the slider assembly itself. So when you hook it up, it's magnets to magnets, right? It's pretty strong, and it's not going anywhere. It's gonna stay in place. Plus, you got the 2 locating pins just to make sure that if it hits a clamp, etc., it's not going to get bumped off. Another thing that I designed into this guy is that it's easy to put on and remove the dust boot assembly. So basically, you take off the brush, pull on the latch, and it comes right off. So it's a fairly snug fit when you put it on, so that it doesn't move around. One possible use of this mount assembly is that, let's say you have a JTech laser or some other laser or something else that you wanted to put on there. You can remove the slider assembly and put something else on. So for example, if you wanted to put a pen in there, or if you want to, like, once again, put a laser, like a JTech assembly in there, you can put a mount that gives you some level of vertical adjustability if you didn't feel like operating the motor for the Z. Anyway, it's real simple to put on and take off in case you wanted to do some maintenance on your machine. You wanted to tram the spindle assembly. You wanted to change out the brushes in your router for whatever reason, right? Makes it real easy to swap it on and off, and it'll fit on a Z assembly with the HDZ like we have here, or it'll fit on a standard Shapeoko, the stamped metal one with the rubber wheels and the belt, belt assembly. In this case, this is a mock-up. I used the stock plate just to show that with the DeWalt 611, just to show that this guy will fit same. Alright, it doesn't matter as long as you have this guy, the router clamp, the stock router clamp. It'll fit there just fine. It doesn't matter if you have a Makita like I have on this guy. It doesn't matter if you have a DeWalt 611. You can have a 65mm air-cooled or water-cooled spindle. It'll fit just fine. And also, you can swap this from the right side to the left side, because depending on when your Shapeoko was built, mine was about 2 years ago. So the clamp bolts are on the right, as well as the slot is on the right. I think most of the recent ones that have been shipped from Carbide 3D have that on the other side, where the bolts and the slot are on the left. But anyway, if you have one of those machines, just twist off the thumb screw, take off the latch assembly, put it on this side, screw it in, and it'll work just fine. It works both sides. Anyway, it'll fit anything that has a standard router clamp. Once again, Makita, DeWalt 611, 65mm spindle, or anything that'll fit in here. I believe the DeWalt is a 69mm. So if you have something that 69mm other than a DeWalt, it'll fit there just fine as well. And it's the same thing. You don't have to buy a special mount for the HDZ or for the Z Plus or for the stock stamped metal Z assembly. It'll work the same way. And the bristle, the brush assembly is easy to swap out. In regards to, there is a V-notch over here, and it just uses strip brushes. Alright, so you just gotta pull the seam to where the Z-notch is, and just pull. Swap it out. Doesn't take any glue, anything, right? So just take your strip brush, slide into the groove, boom, and just move the seam past the Z-notch, and you're good to go. Alright, no glue, no nothing, and literally, I just did it in seconds. I took it out and put it back on. So it's real simple to do, and really cost effective, and you don't have to deal with glue or any of the other nonsense. So that's it. Let me know what you think, and let me know if there's an interest. Alright, appreciate it, guys.